Pass this around so Ralph and Roland can. We have two Omegas.
Two Omegas in here.
When the descendants of the late William Boston Long get together, they share more than old photos. They share a special legacy.
My mother's diploma from Clark, and we just found this in 1933, wrapped in aluminum foil.
Nearly 30 members of this family have graduated from the same college, following the example set long ago by a relative named Long.
I believe the Papa Long graduated in 1924. That's what I've been told.
That's Granddaddy. That's Ralph Long Sr.
For generations, the family home sat on Fair Street in Atlanta, near the campus of Clark University, a historically black institution founded in 1869 by the Methodist Church.
Before the early 60s, there were no other choices. There was no integration. You see people sitting at this table that have integrated and caused a change in America in quite a lot of different levels.
The family says educational opportunities were never taken for granted. Through the years, the family pooled their funds to make sure every child coming up could go to college.
That was the family dinner conversations, and all we ever heard was Clark. We just knew that almost from birth that we were going to college and we were going to Clark. Oh, who is that?
My grandmama.
Funding from the United Methodist Black College Fund guarantees that schools like Clark Atlanta will be here for generations to come.
It's very interesting to hear about my family that went to Clark, and I think I would want to go to Clark when I grow up. Pretty much, yeah.
Hey, first time we heard that one.
Some say that Black Greek letter organizations are crucial to the HBCU experience. But what is so special about what they do? Alpha Step, aka Step, Kappa Step, Omega Step, Zeta Step, Sigma Step, Iota Step, Step. But that's not all they do. These Black Greek letter organizations, also known as BGLOs, have been able to stand the test of time, yet their stereotypes are still the first thing that come to people's minds.
The Qs are known as the outgoing bad boy type. You know, they all about doing whatever it takes to please the ladies.
You know, I'm a little older, but, you know, with some of the little younger brothers, they get a little wild sometimes. But as they grow up and mature, you know, they go from being Q dogs to being Omega men.
Though we're wild and crazy, but they don't see the other things we do, like the community service projects. But a lot of times people don't see that. The only thing they see is the 12 to 2, and that's hopping. They think that's all that we do. But we're much bigger than that.
The Kappas on this campus, I guess, are considered the pretty boys. The Alphas are all about their books and still have fun. You know, they still kind of chill.
Everybody that's an Alpha isn't a bookworm. Everybody that's a Kappa isn't a pretty boy. You know what? If people want to call us nerds, then that's okay by us.
One of the stereotypes that I, really don't appreciate is that Deltas are hood. We're not hood at all.
Yeah. We're not a gang, we're a sisterhood.
Right. We're not the Red Army. We're not the Bovanti girls.
And the AKAs are supposed to be the pretty girls. In terms of the stereotypes of being the prettiest, I think that's the truth. Beauty is from the inside and out. So we are beautiful women outside as well as beautiful women inside. We carry ourselves very well, and I think all those stereotypes that you hear about AKAs are true.
The stereotypes that are portrayed against us, whether they're good or bad, it's up to the members of our organization to live up to the good and erase the negativity. And that's just how we have to carry ourselves as men and young ladies on this campus.
People have their own perceptions of these particular organizations, but how do they measure up to the way they wish to be perceived?
I would like everyone to know that Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, though some may think differently, is a united sisterhood.
They're just a representation of grace and class and womanhood, and I wouldn't want to be represented any other way.
We do so many extracurricular activities off campus, and we do so much work around the Hampton Roads area that is very beneficial to the community and to the university itself. And people really don't get to see that, and I just wish that people knew that and could understand that.
To me, Sigma Gamma Rho is an excellent organization. It represents education. It represents a group of women who are sophisticated and who are about their business, and I'm honored to be a member.
We're more than just stepping and strolling.
We do community service too.
Yeah, we're all different. We don't fit a specific stereotype. You can find a little bit of just about everything in our organization. You can find the pretty boys. You can find the smart guys. You know, we're like Golden Corral. You get a little bit of everything when you see IOTA.
Golden Corral.
January 13th, 1913, 22 women, they paved a way for scholarship, service, and sisterhood, for achievement. And for me, it's living up to what they paved. It's doing what they implemented in our organization and what we've implemented for the past years.
Well, Kappas we always strive for achievement in every field of human endeavor. So being a Kappa to me just means achievement, man. Doing what you got to do in life and just making sure everybody else knows what you're doing and just kind of get the word out there for the black community, because there's not a lot of positive black images for black males. So that's our roles as Kappas.
In order to find out the roles of these organizations, I sat down with Professor Opal Jones, where he gave me more insight on what exactly needs to be done to further enhance the perception of Greeks by non-Greeks.
All they have is Drumline, which is pretty close to it, even though I've dealt with the band, and they have Stomp the Yard. What is their vision about Greeks, So how do they see things? I think that's where the impact needs to be focused more on, to help the freshmen understand what Greeks are truly about: community service, love for all mankind, and the upliftment of black race.
With those goals in mind, Greek organizations have been placed with leadership roles here on campus and in the community. But how successful are they at doing so?
Them being leaders, some are, but some aren't. I don't really find them as being leaders. They haven't really showed me that.
To me, it's just all a bunch of cliques, so I'm not really interested in it. I don't really pay attention to it.
No matter what you do, somebody's going to look at you as you're Greek, and you try to separate yourself from everybody. And other people will be like, oh, I like what he's doing. I strive to do the same thing. So people will understand you, some people aren't.
I think it would be difficult for me to criticize what they're doing and not doing. It's just great to see them out and being active, and I just hope that they would continue to do that and continue to be in the spirit of service as opposed to other things. Just remember what their organizations were founded for.
Leadership, okay, I'll be honest, not necessarily fulfilling that role. I think that sometimes people forget that these organizations are service organizations and that we are leaders. They treat it more like a social organization, and it is, but we definitely need to focus on the service aspect of these organizations.
We do a lot for the community.
We do a number of things in the community.
We love to work for the community.
We do community service too.
And we're just about uplifting the black race. I can't stress that enough. It's not about stepping, it's not about partying, it's not about chanting, it's not about getting brands or how hard this chapter pledges or what that's hogwash. It is really about community service and service to all mankind.
So when these organizations aren't strolling in the Student Center, what exactly are they doing for their community?
And Hampton University, we have several programs. We organize the largest black organized Marrow Drive in the United States of America. Here, our chapter at Gamma Iota.
And I know that on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5 to 7, we're upstairs in the Student Center and we're tutoring kids. We have a program called NAFIO where we tutor middle school kids.
Well, right now we're kind of specializing in the Kappa League, which is what our alumni chapter, what we do is we have a football league of ages 6, which is ankle biters, all the way to ages 15. That's like up to 8th grade.
There are always a few bad apples that, are going to, in any group, there are always a few bad apples that are going to skew the rest and bring the group down. But there are leaders within every organization that continue to show their face and do the right thing at campus.
Here on HU's campus, those bad apples sometimes get their organizations in trouble. This greatly affects Greek life as a whole.
As of now, only 8 of the organizations, well, I shouldn't say only, it's a good thing that 8 of the 9 organizations are active here on campus.
It's always a situation where at least one organization is suspended.
And we're the only ones who haven't been suspended off of campus for hazing.
Never been suspended.
Never. Ever.
Never.
I mean, it's a constant struggle. It's never going to end, really. I mean, sometimes you're reprimanded for things that you did, sometimes you aren't. So it's kind of a give and take situation. It's a catch-22 either way you have it.
When they get in trouble, that is something that needs to be clearly defined within the constructs of administration. And I think that's one of the things that's lacking.
That leads to a lot of difficult situations. It leads to people being unsure of what organization that they want to join. It also leads to the fact that, our step shows are incomplete. I think some being on campus, some being off campus often causes issues, but it's the reality here at Hampton because it seems like for some reason we just cannot keep all 9 on campus at one time.
The perception that can go out to the yard would be one slightly of ignorance because they automatically think, oh, hazing or pledging or whatever, when in fact it could be something quite small, like a little skirmish or a party that may have been misconstrued to be an alpha party when in fact it wasn't. Just various things.
So with Hampton's Greek life constantly being held in the school's administration's hands, what would happen if it all ended tomorrow?
If Omega was to die, this would be a sad world.
If Greek life ended tomorrow, I would want people to say that Alpha Phi Alpha tried to change it.
That we never lost sight of who we are.
Well, we do not skate. We do not skate. Oh, we do not skate.
It's not all about strolling. It's not all about stepping. It's mostly about community service and what you can give back to the community.
We're a small group of women, but a smart and very strong group of women.
So if it was to end today, I want everybody to look back and say, those Greeks made an impact on colleges across the whole country and the world.
To go down in Black history as a part of Black history, not side by side, but as a part of Black history.
We just stand for what we were founded for. That's all I would want them to remember, man. That's it.
Service.
Tight.
Fabulous.
Pretty.
Original.
Awesome.
Uncontested.
Character.
Excellence.
Unique. Changing.
Integrity.
Achievement. I can't do it in one word, man.
Out. A brotherhood.
Excellent.